Hi there, I hope this video finds you well. I thought today we'd have a little honest chat about my use of my Hobonichi and how I have and have not been using it. I wrote an actual journal entry that I'll share with you guys. It was like a very honest chat with myself. It was quite eye-opening. So I'll talk you through that as well, but I'll also show you how I've actually used the book as well. So open it. The only major change is I've stuck one of these bands on, which I know are typically more for travelers journals, but I thought it was quite nice to have this one because I had this one from LCN Designs, which I really liked, and then a charm as well from them. And then my usual stencils, some stickers. The setup hasn't changed at all. It still works for me. I haven't been filling in my April index, but that's fine. I can backlog that. And then how many hours I'm working. And then my calendars are pretty much the same. I try and keep them on theme with the colours. Like this month I've used my own stickers that I've designed, but I finished I've not even finished them. they're like half done, but I only did them like in the middle of April, and it's now coming towards the end of April now, so a little late for me to get them out to you guys. Plus I don't have a Cricut machine yet, so all these little intricate designs that I've got are just going to be a nightmare to cut out for you guys. So not quite ready there, but at least I'm getting some designs up and going. So yeah, calendar use is pretty much the same, and then the same with my weeklies. I've kept on top of my weeklies because that, informs me of how much time I'm spending on particular things, so hopefully I can plan better in the future, as well as also charge for my hours and things. Then more weeklies, but they're for later in the year. Turning the page, I still have not done anything for it, and I kind of don't intend to, but more in that later. Okay, so we've got January, which I love Megan's stickers, I love her designs, but what I did underneath was just no. I hate that, so that wasn't a good start. Hello 2025, I was in Newcastle for the fireworks display that was cancelled, so that was another fail straight away off the bat. My movie review for Nosferatu, you can see I've set it up, I'm ready to go and write it in, but I didn't do that. You'll find that with the first 3 months that I'm just all over the place. Again, printed the stickers, stuck them in, ready to write, and I just never did, not even for my birthday. So yeah, it's pretty much like that. I went to the Tim Burton exhibition for my birthday. These are my stickers, my images of the exhibition, because I really liked how they messed with the shadows and the lights in each theme for whatever they were displaying at the time. And then these 3 images are what Megan took and put on her Patreon, because I really like the composition that she, the angles of the photos that she gets sometimes. They're really interesting. So yeah, just again, not even filled things in, but yet stuck things in. I've always kept up with like how many hours I've slept, what my energy is like, how productive I was, how little I was. This is my review for Xylo for season 2, and I still haven't done it yet. Again, more images but no context. About swatch charting, gouache studying in my 5-year Hobonichi. That oddly enough is going well. So no one surprised as me. Then I've stuck a commonplace article about how to do winter well, because I really like the illustrations, and then a little bits of tidbits that was in the article. So yeah, I like that. Review for Goosebumps, images but no actual words. About merging my Patreon, so both booknookspirit and Spirit are on the same Patreon, but then I've split them up in terms of memberships, just to make my life a little bit easier. Then we're into February again. Started off okay, then literally it just drops off again, and there's a lot of blank spaces in February. Again, titles, images, but no real context. Nothing on those ones. Went to see Bridget Jones, About the Boy, Mad About the Boy, for Valentine's. Got the images, but didn't write it in. Bit about when I was in Liverpool, again blank pages, a lot of blank pages, and then about Winter's End, and then this lovely image I have for March. I love that image, and I love how it's printed out as well, especially on that paper. Title page for March. Started March off pretty strong. I think February is probably my worst month. All sorts of bits and bobs in here. About palettes that I'm working on, discovering Piff sketchbooks, digital decluttering. I don't want to show what's on the next page because it's super personal. So this is just about colour mixing with the neo art. And then about perhaps starting a Buffy commonplace, which technically I already did way back when I was first watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I cannot for the life of me remember what I had. Like this massive binder of like articles, bits of ephemera, all sorts of things, collages I did with things. I was like a big fan of Buffy the Vampire. I mean, I still am, but I cannot for the life of me remember where that binder went or what happened to it or anything. So it'd be nice to sort of do that again, but more in my adult style as opposed to my teenage style. Well, kid style. I was still in school. Bit about making stamp books. Traditional Friday of just movie night, watching telly, getting some junk food. Making a Dutch baby. Highly recommend, by the way. Lovely. Working out my palettes. St. Paddy's. The only thing I did for St. Paddy's was get a shamrock shake. That's the excitement of St. Paddy's for me. Day out in Liverpool, doing a bit of shopping. About a banana and bacon bagel. Don't judge, okay? Yes, you heard me right. Banana and bacon, or a BB bagel. Don't judge until you've tried it because it is delicious. A bit about Miller's Key when I was thinking about getting a new apartment. But yeah, that's kind of changed with my work schedule, so that's not happening, but discovered a new area. Nosferatu, the TV show, which I've never heard of. I know it's been out for a while, but I'd never heard of it, and I really like it. Hence I was going to do a review, but haven't got around to doing that. Then some movement prep for my Travellers notebook. Then about Casper vibes, because I've redesigned my logo and sort of like done it how Casper is. I don't know why, I just felt like doing it, so I did. There it is. And then changed my banner as well on my YouTube channel. About fonts. Another commonplace article about setting the scene in different places within the UK. And a little bit that I need to sort of transfer into my free flows special interest book. And then we're here in April. Now, how can I explain April? It's hard. Okay, so it's kind of changed the way that I've done things, but the only thing that has changed is line spacing. And you'll see what I mean. So straight away, Bam. Doesn't that just look so much better? It's like I can breathe. Whereas, let me get a double page spread, there we go. On that, yes, there's a lot of information, but it's there's so much. Whereas here, it just feels so much lighter. And like I said, like I can breathe. And even just simply by me just skipping a line, it's made me want to go back and annotate and highlight stuff and circle things and just be more commonplacey, sort of researchy, even within my own journal sort of entries and my memory keeping entries. It just makes it so much easier for me. I don't know even why I started doing it. I think I was just sort of thinking, because I was getting sort of like questioning myself, like, why haven't I filled things in and this, that and the other. So I was thinking, what can I change? And I think I just thought, let's just misalign and see how we feel. I continued doing that for a little while. This composition is by Annie. She does YouTube videos here as well about commonplacing. She just basically got a whole bunch of Megan stickers and arranged them in a particular way, this way. And I really like that. So I got Megan stickers and then copied it basically and then printed it out. So yeah, I really like it because it sort of like sums up kind of what April is, which is just fantastic, of both Megan and Annie. So yeah, all about that. Last day in the studio, settling into my temporary space that you're currently seeing now, which I'll go more into in future videos and explain what's going on there. A little bit about Takis, turning my tongue blue, and getting back into just gaming. And I've got into Epic Mickey on the Switch. Very much looking forward to Metal Gear Delta in August on the PlayStation. So very much anticipating that one. And then we've got to where I wanted to talk to about my honest feelings about the whole thing and why things have sort of like taken a backseat with my Hobonichi. So I'm pretty much going to read this to you. I'll film some B-roll so it shows you like close up. And hopefully not be so boring just listening to me rambling. But yeah. I mean, I've got all the way... In fact, let me show... I'll jump back to this. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So yeah, it goes on 3 pages and misses a page because that's when I finished the sticker sheet and also figured out the colours for this month. So it was a bit of back and forth this month. And then it continues there. And then something shifted that made things better. And then about some grids I've been working on. Then I had a real big craving to watch Twilight, and it's because we got a heavy downpour of rain, and it just felt so like I was in the middle of Forks, even though I'm like on the beach at the moment. So there's no forest anywhere near me whatsoever, but it just, the smell of the rain, because we'd had like really warm weather for a while, and then just a downpour of the April showers, which was quite fitting that I'd finished my stickers literally the first day of like April showers for a good solid week. So that was quite funny. And then of course Easter, so I wrote a little bit about that and cooked a delicious meal. And then of course scoffed lots of chocolate, as you do. And then my movie review for Sinners, which by the way, if you haven't seen, you have to. Particularly on IMAX. I don't know why. It's not very often I recommend the IMAX, but for some reason it just sung to me, quite literally. I went into this movie like, because I wasn't very well during Easter and we had a whole bunch of things planned, like bike riding, going to Port Sunlight, all sorts of different things. But it was one of my endometriosis flare-ups, and I just literally couldn't get my body to behave. So we took it a very chilled, sort of easy weekend, and we ended up going to the cinema, even though we were like, there's nothing really much on. You know, I'd not heard of Sinners, I had no idea what it was about. not seen the trailer, nothing, and you know, there was nothing else on at the cinema that really took our fancy. I think there was some Marvel movie on with some, was it Captain America? No, it couldn't be Captain America. He's dead basically, isn't he? I don't know. I've lost the thread with Marvel. But yeah, I completely went into this blind, and literally within the first, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, I was like, this is a movie. This is a vibe. I love it so much. The casting choice was fantastic. The cinematography was fantastic. And then, of course, it's the story that sold it for me. I'm a big sucker for a really good story, especially a unique original story as well. And then the whole play on a little bit of folktale about music going throughout the generations. And then, of course, the big sort of bad in the movie as well. I don't want to say too much and spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, even though I've probably already spoken a little bit too much. But yeah, and you probably can read my words. So yeah, this is a fan art, but I just love this because it encapsulates some of what was going on. A spoiler there. But yeah, I literally wrote 5 pages on this, and yes, I know it's because double line, so it probably would have been 3 pages, I'd imagine. Yeah. And then more about grids that I'm working on, some page grids, because I really, really am getting the itch to move to B5, hence this page. I actually got hold of Histology. I will go more into that hopefully in the next video, and express my thoughts on a B5 size Histology book, gridded book. And then that was literally it. That's the end of May. So yeah, even though missing a line is actually using more of the book, it kind of feels good to do that, to go across pages, because it then, if I have a day where I don't feel like filling in a daily, it's fine because it might already be filled in with something else that I've written about. So I kind of don't mind that. And it just, as I said, it just breathes and it just looks so much more visually pleasing to me as well. And I can match my note colours to the month as well, which just helps as well, my little graphic designer in me. But yeah. So let's go back to the journal entry that sparked off why I wanted to do an honest use video for you guys. Okay, so today I just feel tired. Not physically, exactly. It's more like my spirit's been running a marathon without realising it, and only now is the exhaustion catching up to me. I'm restless in a way I can't quite soothe, like my mind and body are just both searching for a landing place. But everything still feels temporary. I sat down to fill in today's entry and just stared at the page. April's been manageable so far. I've scribbled a few things down each day, added some stickers, even smiled at a moment or two that I'd remembered to record. But it's when I look back, in particularly January, February, March, that I feel that the weight was getting at me. All those months are patchy. These are the days that look like placeholders for a life I was too tired to live. Titles with no substance, photos with no context, empty boxes where my words should have gone. I keep telling myself I'll go back and fill them in, that I'll catch up when I have more energy, more clarity even, more anything at this point. But I'm here in April and I still haven't caught up. And maybe that's what hurts me the most. This ongoing feeling that I'm behind in my own life, like I've been moving myself through fog, trying to perform normally, when the truth is, this year started heavy. I was sick in January, sick again in February, and then my back went out and my body just refused to cooperate. I barely had a chance to breathe, let alone reflect. And now I'm in a new space, not settled, not grounded, living out of a suitcase and trying to build structure in a life that feels like it's constantly shifting underneath me. Maybe it's not the journaling itself that's hard, maybe it's what it represents. The pressures to document, to record, to preserve meaning when I've been too busy just surviving. I've been wondering if I should just draw a line under those empty months. Stop trying to catch up, stop chasing perfection in my pages. Stop trying to catch up, stop chasing perfection in my pages that were lived messily, painfully, imperfectly. There's part of me that feels guilty about it, like I've failed to honour my own days. But there's also a quieter voice asking me to let go, to forgive the blank pages, to see them not as failures, but as silent rest. Not every season is made to be recorded in detail. Some of them ask only to be felt, moved through, survived. So maybe I'll leave those pages just as they are. A quiet record of a hard beginning. Maybe I'll pick up from here with some softness, with some honesty, with less pressure to be caught up. Because I don't want my journals to become another thing I feel like I'm failing at. I want it to be a safe space again, a space where I can show up exactly as I am, and right now, I'm just tired, and that's okay. So yeah, that was a very sort of honest chat with myself that just made me sort of give myself permission to just leave the rest of those pages. And to be honest, I think I will just leave those pages. I may go back to them, I may not do, but for now, I'm happy just to leave them as they are. In going forward, I don't have to fill in every page. And as I've said, with me just simply changing the line spacing, perhaps that's all I needed, was that little bit of shift to just breathe and take things in and take longer with things and not have to do a daily thing. So we'll see how it goes from here on. I mean, we're at the end of April now. Well, I'm at the end of April. By the time I've edited this video, it might not be. So, we'll just see how things go. And I guess I kind of wanted to make this video, not only to be honest with you guys, but also just to let you guys know that it's okay if they're not filled up. It's okay if there's blank spaces and this, that, and the other. It's, at the end of the day, we're doing this for ourselves. And it's supposed to be enjoyable and a way to sort of self-care in a way. I hate using the term self-care, but it's true. We're looking after ourselves by, getting things out of our head and onto paper, and then also having like a little treasure trove to look back on. That's the idea it is for me anyway. And then obviously helping with work and research and that sort of things as well. But, for the most part, it is for me. And at the moment, I'm happy to share that with you guys. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this and found it somewhat useful. And, don't put pressure on yourselves if you are doing a journal, because it will literally drive you nuts. But honestly, since I wrote that entry, it's just felt like a weight off my shoulders, and it's like I've given myself permission. And it's just, yeah, that's the whole point of the book, I suppose, is writing things down and getting things off your chest. And, that's a prime example of it actually happening and working. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. But let me know how you guys are getting on with your books. Do you struggle with it, or is it something that puts you off actually journaling, or are you find it so easy to fill up journals? Because I know some people have like 5-6 journals, and I'm like, how do you keep on top of all of these things? So yeah, let me know how you guys are using your journals, if you're ahead or if you're behind, or just let me know where you are. Start a conversation with me. I'd love to know what everybody's up to. So yeah, I'm also going to be releasing videos now each week for a little while, because I've got like so much clips that are filmed. I just need to edit them all and put them down. But because obviously we work with days and months, I don't want to get too far behind with like releasing something in like August and it's related to May, so I'm going to try and do weekly videos. I don't know how long that's going to last, so don't get too used to me releasing weekly videos. The aim was just to do fortnightly, and then in between weeks was going to be on my art channel, so I do a video every week, but it's split across 2 channels. But yeah, I need to do weekly videos, I think, for this, what I'm up to and what I've been up to. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.